We hope that this conference has helped you meet others and share similar ministry interests and needs. We hope it has introduced you to some new skills, ideas, ways of working with information. And so in these final minutes, perhaps you can think about our time together and make some notes to yourself. What ideas are going to be valuable for you to think about and develop in your ministry? What skills have been shown which you could benefit from if you were to develop them? And what can you do to pursue those ideas and skills? Think about what person you may have been introduced to who could help you, or think about those that you could offer help or mentorship to you, and how can we pursue those relationships? Well, as I've mentioned before, to encourage ongoing conversations and connections, we have set August 15th as a date at which we will come back together at this same time, and we'll be letting you know how to do that, to focus on questions or tasks or challenges that may have come up as a result of things you're trying to apply out of this conference. So please put that date on your calendar for a gathering. Perhaps even we will see some groups forming, as Dave suggested. Hey, why don't we get all these mappers together that could use that date as a target on which to complete some task? I want to let you know as well, some may not yet know about the Community of Mission Information Workers. Their website is globalcmiw.org, and they are the main organization out of which these conferences have been coming. There's also a Google group called Knowledge Stewardship for Kingdom Impact, or KSKI group, and you could contact them and get involved. They just throw ideas out through emails and respond and chat and so forth, and they have an archive of topics which have been raised and discussed that might be of value to you. That is KSKI at googlegroups.com. KSKI at googlegroups.com. Does anyone know of other networks or groups that you'd like to just shout out here and let us know about? Invite folks to join. You could do that in the chat window, or you could raise your hand and speak to us all.
I'll just mention InterSearch, which is research within Christian media organizations. Another smaller community.
I'm not seeing who that's coming from, but go ahead and drop that into the chat as well. Thank you. InterSearch.
I think Lausanne has a research arm as well.
Yes. Lausanne does have a research arm, so the Lausanne movement, that's one of their special focus areas. All right. I'm going to move ahead, but you can certainly feel free to add things into our chat. Planning for each year's virtual conference has been done by members of this community. The planning team has changed from year to year, welcoming new ideas and giftedness to our efforts. Team members offer ideas and insights and lend their time and skills to the planning as they are able. So as we look forward to the future, we would especially value having people from Africa, Asia, Europe, or Latin America join this effort. We've been blessed by having an African brother on each of these last 3 years planning teams. Nobody from Asia yet. And Europe. We've had Chris Maynard. So we believe that it's important to include global perspectives in our conferences. So if you think you might like to take part in the planning team for next year, you're going to have an opportunity to indicate that in the final survey which will be sent out shortly after the close of the conference. You can indicate your interest, and that will not obligate you in any way, but will allow us to contact you and invite you to observe or join us when we begin to plan for our 2025 conference. And I should let you know that you can also contact the planning team by email. We have set up a Google account just for the Mission Information Workers virtual conferences. So that address is one that we can receive ideas, input, interaction with you at MIWC2024@gmail.com. MUVCon, if you want to say it that way, MUVCon@gmail.com. Well, I've said enough about my ideas for ongoing connections and future conferences. I invite you now to share any ideas you have about how we can be building this community of mission information workers. Raise your hand, unmute, and speak to us. It does help for you to raise your hand. That brings you to the forefront where we can see you and recognize you and even spotlight you if you're not afraid of being on stage together.
Is done
Ideas?
by choosing the React icon at the base, at the bottom of the toolbar. Just click React, and then below that, raise hand.
Aha. Yep. All right, John Mayer, he knows how to do that.
Yeah, I'm quick draw McGraw here, but anyways, I think every day and in the chat rooms too, what came up to me is collaboration. And I think this isn't a critique, so don't take it that way. I have the spiritual gift of discouragement, but I'm not going to use it here. But basically, you know, we go these things, we get excited, we meet people, but if there isn't really something to collaborate on as a whole group, then it's kind of like, come and help me with my project, or I need help, and that's okay, but that's not what I would call true collaboration, where we're all kind of, and we don't all have to work on it, but I think there are some projects that we could work on, even just little pieces of it together. And I think that would move us forward, because again, faith without works is dead. You know, this is great to get together, but if no good works come out of it, other than networking, it's still valuable. Don't hear me wrong. But I think God would want us to do something more than just kind of network and see what each other's doing and cheerlead.
Right.
John,
Yeah, John, good
that
word
is
on that. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah, John, that is part of the reason for the August 15th get together. That's just to, you know, kind of rubber to the road kind of thing. And that would be the same schedule as these have been. We feel like that's working for everybody. So not just, you know, some of this might take the form today of theoretical or what if, or maybe we could. August 15th is more of a time to say, hey, let's start something going on this project, or let me help you. And yeah, I love your point about collaboration not being, hey, come work on mine. We've been envisioning a space where those who have can offer, you know, and so we've seen people here on this in the conference speaking about their skills, what they have to offer, and what if we could just say, hey, I've got something I'd love to offer, and here's someone who really needs and is hungry for that. So that's August 15th and beyond.
Right. Perhaps some of us will be envisioning a project that is wider than just our focus of, you know, we each have little focuses that the Lord has given to us, but every once in a while something may come along that, hey, you know, a bunch of us could work on this together. Project is just wrapping up. An idea came to Warren Lawrence a year and a half ago of updating the evangelical population count around the world, and he thought, well, that's really big. reached out to Operation World, to some others. And so 3 organizations have just spent a year working together on through the structure that Operation World has used of using denominational population updates. And so we spent a year working together doing all of that. And that was great to feel like we were coming alongside organization to organization on a common project. Something like that would be wonderful. Elijah.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want also to just echo the collaboration and partnership. I think even from the scripture point of view, when you read Luke, Jesus sending disciples on purpose. He never sent one to go, but many for one reason. I think this conference for me have been very beneficial in terms of learning from others how things are done. But I think we can, like everyone have said, take either step to see how we together can put our resources, these very rich resources, and do something as a group, because we believe that one group of people cannot have everything, others have something. But I think always partnership, this collaboration actually will take the word of God so far to many nations, because that's the core. Go to nations, and not just a single person, but a group of people. So these resources are very rich. When we put together, collaborate, partners, it will go a very long way. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah. Yes. See a question there in the chat. How are we going to find out about the August 15th as it comes up? I think I could say that we will be sent, we have your email addresses for everyone who has registered. So we will be sending out information as that date approaches and so forth.
Hey, Dan, can I just tell everybody, you've probably seen this in the chat, but just in case anybody's missed it, I've just pinged the group to say if you're interested in that mapping subgroup, ping me back, and I'll put together a starting group and discuss the way forward with Chris initially, and then we'll take it from there.
Excellent, David. Good.
Thank you.
Daniel Hoskins.
Perhaps I missed it, but have you said anything about the content for the August 15th, or is that still in shaping? And if so, is there any way to speak into the shaping for that?
We don't have content yet. Please do speak into shaping of that. We'd like that to be responsive to things that roll forward from this week. And it could just let us know, you know, hey, we're developing this over here. David's, hey, we got a group of mappers together. You could let us know through MIWC2024@google.org. And so we will be building content for that time. Great question. Thank you. John Mayer?
Yeah, Phil Hannum just posted something in the chat that I thought was helpful about collaboration. He said we could have collaborative questions, collaborative platforms, collaborative resources. So again, just even, it's not like one giant project. Some of us are more resourced, some of us have tools, some of us have skills, you know, just even kind of defining areas of collaboration, not just on projects, but where we could share, just kind of, you know, where we're at.
As you say that, it strikes me that something like KSKI has been serving, and we could use as sort of a bulletin board to pin up ideas. Hey, anybody doing this stuff? Or does somebody have such and such? We need this. And that happens pretty quickly through KSKI because it drops into everybody's email box. So there's a structure that's already in place for us to, you know, sort of pick up the phone or shoot out an email and say, here's an idea, here's a need, here's something I can offer. Great. Yeah, Dwayne?
Yeah, and so part of the thinking too is that we won't all be just all together working on one thing. There can be these kind of breakout and whatever, and that can just form, as Dan was saying, as we go along and we see need or, you know, what's being offered.